Hey guys, today I just want to talk about lying and the effects that it has had on my life and the impact that it has had. But I will talk a little bit more about that later. First, I want to talk about how I think we all know someone in our lives that has had an issue with stretching the truth here and there, or stretching the truth a whole lot, where we can't even trust that person or what they're saying because we know that most likely it's not true. So, we all know those people that, maybe they've had 5 donuts and they don't really want to say that, so they'll just say, I only had 1, or I ran 2 miles when they only ran a half a mile. So I think we all know those people, and we all have those people in our lives. And for a lot of people, it's not a big deal to them to do that, which kind of comes into my first point, which is, how does lying start? I think it starts because in our culture, doing little white lies or just saying a little small false truths that are just stretching the truth just a little bit is not a big deal to people. And it's kind of glamorized in our culture where we don't want to hurt people's feelings, so sometimes we'll say things like, I really like that dress. It looks so great on you. When in fact, that's not how we really feel, and that's a lie. Or, like a little boy or something who has not done his homework and his mom asks him and he says, yeah, I've done it, because he knows he'll get to it later. But, that's not that big of a deal. It's just stretching the truth a little bit. But in fact, it actually is a pretty big deal, because I think that's where it stems from bigger lies and bigger falsehoods. And I think for some of us, it doesn't affect us as much if we just say little falsehoods here and there. But for some people that struggle with lying, that is kind of the beginning of it, and then they never know how to stop it because they've just always have told lies here and there, and then it becomes their life and they don't know how to even tell the truth. So I think that's kind of how it starts, at least for me, and experiences that I've had and people that I've seen that have struggled with lies. That is the case. And why do people lie? I think that people lie. I think there's 3 reasons. I think they lie because they want to fit in with people, they want to make themselves look better, and they want to hide something. And so I think the first one is, they just want to fit in with a certain crowd. So they'll say whatever it takes to get into a certain group, whether it be, I don't know, they've dated a certain amount of people, they've dated this person, or they've had this many cars in their life, and they have this much money, different things. There's so many different lies that people can say. I've even heard girls, say like, I'm pregnant, just for the attention of it and just wanting to fit in with a certain group. And that kind of goes in with the second one of wanting to make themselves look better. They're so dependent on wanting to people please that they'll say whatever it takes to get people to give them attention or to acknowledge that they're a good person, when in fact most of the stuff that they're saying is not true at all. And the other one is hiding things. I think that goes in with a lot of different things, like stealing, or cheating on someone, or the list goes on and on. When we want to hide something, or we've done something wrong, or we've hit our brother or sister when we were little, or whatever, that's when you lie. And so I think those are some of the reasons that people lie. And then the next one is, how does it affect your life when you lie? And I think it makes people not trust you at all. They can't trust anything that comes out of your mouth. And I also think it makes you lose friends and lose people that you love. And so that kind of is when I'm going to share a little bit about my own personal experience with lying. And that is, I've had a family member who has his entire life struggled with lying since I can remember. I can't remember a time where he didn't lie. And this has been such a hard journey for him because he has lied so much in his life. And it started out with just small little lies that it became into a bigger problem where he started stealing stuff when he was like in high school and would always cover that up with, oh, no, I wasn't there. There's no way that that could happen. He would never, ever admit that he was wrong, admit that he was lying about those things. And that also furthered into him cheating on his wife and lying about that and stealing money from where he was working, and now he's facing jail time and all these things. And I'm not saying that is the case quota that's going to happen to every person that's lying, but these are some effects of lying in people's lives. And because he has made these choices, there is a line in between where his family members and his people that used to be friends with him, we can't trust him anymore. We literally cannot trust a single word that comes out of his mouth because he doesn't know how to not lie, or he has chosen not to tell the truth. And so for me, it's always been a huge deal. Lying has just always been something that has just been so cringeworthy for me, or something that I have personally tried to avoid in my life because I know the hurt that comes from that, and I know how I can't trust that person and what it's done to our family. And so that is just some of the effects of, you want to be a trustworthy person, you want to be someone that people can rely on or be loyal, and when you're lying all the time, that's not the case. And so what does the Bible say about lying? Well, in Proverbs, it talks about how the Lord detests lying lips and that he wants someone to be trustworthy. So that is something that we should base our lives on. We should know that the Lord does not like lying lips. He wants his people to be people that are trustworthy like he is. We should always be striving to be like he is. And so another verse in Colossians talks about how you should not lie to one another, and how when you are becoming more like Christ and being more like him in the image of Christ, that you shouldn't lie, and how that's just a part of practicing, putting off your old self and putting on your new self. And so those are just some encouraging verses that the Lord really can help us, if you are struggling with lying, to overcome that. And so that's kind of my conclusion is, with any sin that people struggle with or are dealing with, the only way to overcome those things is through Christ. He's the only one that can give us strength to be able to tell the truth and overcome any kind of sin that we have. So I just encourage you guys, if that's something that you're struggling with, to really just go to the Lord in prayer and just ask him to just help you overcome those things and get accountability. Have people in your life that will tell you the truth and be like, that's not right, you don't need to be doing those things. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you guys have a great day.